Yo, what's good with you? Back in black with another Enlisted video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and improve your skill-based matchmaking. I think it goes without saying that, I had full intentions of making a video about this brand new squad that has, come out with the Enlisted event that is going on right now. I implore you, if you don't participate in another Enlisted event all year, this is definitely the one that you want to participate in, because I'm gonna just come right out and say it, already just giving us the best airborne squad that the game has seen thus far, and probably the best premium squad that has been released for free thus far in the duration of this game's tenure, for lack of a better word. So what I wanted to do was just give my first impressions using the squad, the good, the bad, if there is any bad, honestly speaking. Actually, there is, but yo, before I get into the bulk of the review, I do want to say, let's be 100% real with ourselves here. When we saw that we were getting an airborne squad where each person was going to have a light machine gun, that's just something that you could glance at and that would make any enlisted player's mouth like water. So we already knew the squad was going to be really good even before you got it out of the box. Anybody with common sense could have seen that from a mile away. So just kind of keep that in mind as I go through this review and say whatever I gotta say. Another thing I did want to mention that I thought was really cool is that this squad does feature a token black guy, not just any token black guy. His name is Sidney Cordell, first African American paratrooper in history. So I think that's really cool because black people don't really get a lot of shine when it comes to World War II games, or just recognition about World War II, or what we did or how we served, or anything of that nature in general up until recently. So whenever they feature stuff like this in a video game, it's really cool to me, and I really want to say salute to the developers for that. You guys aren't always making me ecstatic and happy, but stuff like this is really cool, and I appreciate y'all for that. So yeah, man, first thing I want to talk about was the Vickers machine gun, which is the main armament of this squad. I will say it's pretty OP, but you could really say that about any machine gun in Enlisted. I would say the standout features that I really enjoy the iron sight for this. I will say the fire rate is probably going to be the best thing that I could really say is notable about this machine gun. It comes in at 1040, which is pretty astronomically high. It's kind of up there with the German machine guns, but not quite as high. Very hard to control as far as the recoil is concerned. Speaking of the recoil, let's take a second and take a look at that right now. I do want to go ahead and discuss the stats because since this is the main thing that you're going to be using whenever you drop in with this squad, it only makes sense. If you were watching the screen from earlier, I'm sure you saw the vertical recoil was 31 and the horizontal recoil was 20. So really what that means in the grand scheme of things is that there's two ways you could go about playing with this Vickers machine gun. You either A, have to mount up, or B, for any target that is medium range or longer, you're gonna have to crouch, or you're gonna have to prone, and that's not even going to help that much. That's really only going to help moderately, because I'm sure if you pay attention to the gameplay, you will see even if I am crouched down, the recoil is still pretty what's the word I want to use, herky-jerky. But I have a aim controller with a extra long thumbstick, so it's slightly easier for me to control. Anybody who's using a regular controller, or somebody who is not playing on PC, basically you're gonna have a harder time controlling that recoil. So I really recommend posting up in a window or laying prone and trying to hold down like a certain area. Not to say that you can't use it offensively, but at that point you might as well choose the assault kit, which features this Lanchester that you are looking at right now. Again, not to say that you can't use the Vickers in close range. It's really good, and it's great for mowing down groups of enemies in 0.5 seconds, which I'm sure you've seen that a lot in the gameplay as well. It's just that for those who don't handle recoil that well, or who don't have an enhanced controller or enhanced aiming skills, generally speaking, you're gonna have your work cut out for you with this gun. Does that make it a bad gun? No. The fire rate, I think, more than a little bit makes up for how bad the recoil is. Because if you can't control the gun, then you're going to be mowing down swabs of enemies. I went on a 40 kill streak in one of these clips. I'm sure you will see that as well. Another thing I did want to talk about a little bit is that if you were to choose the recon kit for this class, you get a Springfield, which is a little vexing to me because I feel like since this is a British oriented squad, it would make more sense for us to get a scope Enfield. I mean, I understand it might be a little too OP considering the fact that the Enfield has 10 bullets in the magazine, but I mean the squad itself, like I said earlier, is OP in essence. We get a machine gun and then we get a sniper rifle in our back pocket, or we get a submachine gun in our back pocket, or a mortar, or we get bazookas. So I mean, would it really hurt to put a Enfield in there? I don't know. But all in all, I mean, the effectiveness and the versatility of this squad is basically unprecedented, and I feel like there's literally no reason not to run this squad. So when you think about all those things in combination, the only thing you really have to work on is mastering the recoil of this gun and putting yourself in the best position to succeed situation wise when you are using this gun. That being said, I mean, there's literally no downside aside from again, that recoil. So if you ask me, I'm gonna have to give this squad a solid 9.5 out of 10. I do want to ask anybody else who has been using it already or who unlocked it already, what do you think? What kit do you choose the most? Do you wish we could choose specific guns for our kits before we you know, get it out of the box? Appreciate you for watching. Don't forget to aim for that like button, shoot that subscribe button as well. Help you find better teammates and improve your skill-based matchmaking, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Black guy out.